future. Another really cool action is being able to pick up and then drag a message, for example, into a folder. And this is something that has been built not as part of Gmail, but part of the application framework. We have an incredibly full-featured dragging manager that allows you to create and manage sort of these dragging interactions. There's a lot more coming there. And then one last thing that I wanted to show is across the top here is the application bar. The application bar is another application pattern that can be packaged into a fragment. And in this case, it's showing global actions. So I have search, I have compose, and a few other things. But if I select a few messages, you'll see that that application bar now changes to contain actions that are specific to the selected items. In this case, archive, star, label, etc. So this is another example of sort of really modular development that we've built as part of the Honeycomb application framework. So we'll go back to the home screen. And now I want to talk a little bit about performance. Needless to say, we've spent a tremendous amount of time really optimizing performance at every level on Honeycomb, especially for 2D and 3D graphics. So first, all of 2D drawing that developers have been doing with the existing framework can now be hardware accelerated. And developers can actually do that literally by adding just one line of code to their existing application, and then they can take advantage of hardware acceleration. We've also added a new animation framework to Honeycomb to enable developers to add transitions and overall polish to their applications. And you've seen some of that stuff already in the home screen. I want to show in a really simple way how powerful this is. So I'm going to click on the top button here on the right. That's going to take me into the home screen customization UI. And then I'm going to tap on the home button on the bottom left. And then I'll do that in rapid sequence. And you can see how amazingly powerful this new animation framework is. Just incredibly fluid and smooth. We're also introducing a brand new graphics engine called RenderScript. RenderScript is built for high-performance interactive 3D graphics. And it enables some amazing new things, some of which I believe you've already seen. Let me show you one of the best examples of this, which is YouTube. So I'm going to go to YouTube here. And what you see is this insanely beautiful 3D video wall that I can use to browse videos on YouTube. And you can see how fluid and awesome it is to play with. This is built using RenderScript. I'll go into our Books app. And in the Books app, you'll see a 3D carousel of the books that I've purchased, also built with RenderScript. And if I go into a book here, I've chosen Unbroken. Watch how incredibly smooth the turning, the page flipping animation is, even when you have pictures. It's just really beautiful. This is all built using RenderScript technology as well. Just for fun, I want to show you just a few more examples of 3D applications that we can build or that can be built on Honeycomb. We've spent as much time as we could optimizing performance at every level, even doing things like supporting multi-processor cores or multi-core processors at the kernel level to make sure that everything works super smoothly. So let me take Maps as an example. So I'll go into Maps here. And with this new version of Maps, as some of you may know, we're adding dynamic rendering technology with three-dimensional vector graphics. And what that allows is for me to do manipulations of all sorts in a map. So I can zoom, I can do some rotations, for example. I can tilt the map. And if I go close, I can even start to see some buildings. So look how beautiful it is to look at the Embarcadero. Just incredibly cool. I will also show our music application, which is over here. And I'll go over here. So look at this incredibly smooth sort of carousel that allows me to browse through my albums. Also build using the 3D constructs that are part of the application framework. And one last and really fun example is Google Body, which is a new application that I've heard some call the Google Maps of human anatomy. And I can do here this, things that you would expect from maps like pan and zoom. I can also turn on layers. But in these cases, there are layers like muscles or maybe the circulatory system or the skeleton. And I can zoom in here. And perhaps this is useful maybe to tell my doctor on the phone that I've broken my clavicle. Or if my doctor tells me that maybe I've pulled my infraspinatus, I can actually find out what that is. Doesn't look that serious. So speaking of 3D graphics, I wanted to invite an expert over to the stage.